feel like this prompt was nice because it wasn't a double, and also terrible because it was over 500 pages. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're doing my July TBR game. So there has been a couple of updates. Okay, the one update, but we have changed the cards that the prompts are on to brown card with white writing on. My writing is terrible, as you will see. I just felt like this is gonna streamline it that a little bit more, and hopefully I would love to make another change, but we'll see if that ever actually happens. Anyway, like last month, I am going to be rolling a minimum of 6 times, and I think I'm feeling confident. Let's go with 3 rerolls. So if we have the same colour come up twice on this dice, I will do a reroll, and we'll do a maximum of 3 rerolls. That way there's going to be anywhere between 6 to 9 books, because I am feeling pretty confident with my reading lately. Saying that, we do have one book that I definitely want to try and fit into this month's choices, and that's Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I'm hoping to go and see a play of Northanger Abbey. It's only an hour long, so I'm not sure if it's a full play or what's happening there. I know it's very, very small. Still need to book the tickets for that, so we should probably get on that. But yeah, I would really like to read this one before I go and see that play. So with all those preliminary bits out the way, let's choose our prompt. Let's go with this one. We have horror. Fair enough. Okay, let's go to roll number 1. Our first roll. Orange. Anything. Okay. This is working out perfectly. The first roll was anything, so that means I can actually fit Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. First prompt, done. Love it. This one, I believe, is a comedy take on horror classics at the time. So I believe this one is taking the mick kind of out of Anne Radcliffe's books, not in a mean way, but just taking the themes of them and putting a comedic twist to them, I believe. I could have that wrong. Catherine Morland is a young girl with a very active imagination. Her naivety and love of sensational novels lead her to approach the fashionable social scene in Bath and her stay at nearby Northanger Abbey with preconceptions that have embarrassing and entertaining consequences. Sounds like a fun time to me. But yeah, I'm so happy that this was just anything. Like, perfect. As for the rest of the prompts, who knows? Speaking of prompts though, we do need to choose another one. Let's go with this one. Dark cover. Okay, fair enough. Let's go to roll number 2. Roll number 2. Yellow. Historical fiction. Then we have historical fiction, which I'm not sure how I feel about this one, and I'm not sure on the book that I've chosen, so I feel like, not gonna lie, this is probably the book that I'll get to last out of the month. But I have put on here Alison Weir's 6 Tudor Queens, Catherine of Aragon, the True Queen. Editing Kirsten popping in here to say that I've actually changed the book that I picked out for historical fiction to Mad Woman's Ball by Victoria Mars. This is not something I've ever done before, but in that clip that I've now edited out, I went on to say how I really wasn't feeling that book, how this was probably the book that I would honestly leave out of all the other books that I'm going to be reading from, that it's the lowest on my list to get to, and basically a lot of me just saying I don't want to read this, but I've picked it for the prompt. And I think that's just because the way my bookshelves are organised is keeping historical fiction together. However, things like this can still count because it is set in 1885 Paris. We are in an asylum and it is literally what's happening. There is a ball that's being thrown and things turn out to be not quite what they seem. This has been something that I've been wanting to read for a little while, so because it is set in the past, it does work for that historical fiction. So swap that out. So at the end of this video, when you see me talking about the 6 Tudor Queens, just know it's not going to be that, it's going to be this one. But picking another prompt, a title with 1 word. Now that's a prompt I haven't seen for a little while. Alright, let's go. Roll number 3. Blue. Anticipated read. Okay, prompt number 3, anticipated read, which to me is basically like anything. And this time I've gone for something extremely different for me, and that's going to be poetry. So we've got Water in the Soul by Courtney Pepernell. I have been anticipating this one for a while, but I have also been putting it off because poetry is not something I've ever really read, which I've said every single time I've spoken about this book. But it is something that I have high hopes for, and I really do hope I enjoy it. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is read it slowly over the course of the month. It's 200-ish pages, but the poems are, I mean, it's poetry, that it's short, it's going to be quick reads. So I really think that maybe doing like a few a day or something throughout the month will be a really good way to tackle this book. I really do have high expectations. I'm hoping that poetry is something that I can get into. So yeah, okay, something very different for me. But we are at the danger zone now, so let's see how many rerolls we end up with. Okay, let's go with... We have a classic. That would be nice if that prompt comes up. Number 4, let's go. Ooh, that was a yellow, so that means a reroll. So we have title with one word, and then let's go with this one. Sci-fi. Okay, the first reroll. Pink, which you can't see, but it is there. And that's horror. Of course, it happened. We have a reroll. The first prompt is the one that you guys are going to be choosing between, and that's title with one word. I actually struggled, and then I found 2. So we have Bunny by Mona Awad. This would be an attempt at a reread for me. This is a book that is so unreal. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland on steroids. We're following this girl who attends this school that's quite privileged in a way, like the students that go there are quite, it's kind of I suppose a weird way of saying dark academia, that elitist type academic setting. We have this group of girls who call each other Bunny all the time, and our main character takes the mick out of it. She finds it ridiculous, but then she gets invited to one of their evenings and goes along, and things get weird. So that's one option. The other one is Cassandra by Krista Wolf, and this was one of your options last month, but I'm super intrigued by it, as you know. So this one is about Cassandra from Greek mythology, who was cursed with prophecy and the fact that nobody's ever going to believe her. I really want to read both. Obviously, Cassandra's a little bit higher on my list, plus it is a bit smaller, so it's a bit nicer for this month, because am I regretting the fact that I said 3 rerolls this month? Yes, I am. But Bunny is also one that I have been highly anticipating reading and hoping that I enjoy it, just because so many people that do actually finish it tend to really like it. So I want to see, can I push past the craziness that is this book and appreciate it? I don't know, but let me know in the comments below what your vote is for this month. And then I am cheating a little bit for horror, and I'm going with manga, as always. I have to get the manga on there, and it does give me that little bit of a break. Now, as the time I'm filming this, I still haven't even read Tokyo Ghoul Volume 5, which I need to read for June. So I'm going to go on the basis that I will have read that, and we're going to carry on with number 6, because I originally said in last month's video that I should be able to get 5 and 6 done. Yeah, that hasn't happened. Whether it does or not, fair enough, and I'll just kind of move on with this, but I would really like just to have something a little bit lighter for me and get through this. So we're going to say number 6 for now, considering I haven't even read number 5. Either way, we're going to be reading a Tokyo Ghoul manga, and again, I'll just briefly go off this one. It's our main character who lives half in the human world, half in the ghoul world. We are based in Tokyo, and ghouls are basically people, but they have to eat human flesh to stay alive. It's a very unusual one, but I really want to get through this series. So, plus, you know, as I said, manga is such a great thing to have when your TBR seems to be getting a bit out of control. Then we're going to choose this one. Treat your shelf. I don't actually need to be doing that right now because I've been buying a lot of books, but if that's what it goes for, that's what it goes for. Roll number 5. Ooh, purple. Oh no. Over 500 pages. Yay. I feel like this prompt was nice because it wasn't a double, and also terrible because it was over 500 pages. But I have gone for a book which I'm gonna regret, but also so excited to read, and that is Helen of Troy by Margaret George. This is a book that I've been wanting to read ever since I picked it up. I'm really excited about this one, and I can't wait. It is huge, and I'm terrified because it's over 700 pages, but I was actually looking through the books that I feel like reading at the moment, and most of them actually aren't 500 pages. So we're just going to go with it. Slightly regretting doing this because I have one more roll I have to do, but also possibility of 2 more rerolls. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, Helen of Troy is one that I'm really excited for, and we're actually following Helen of Troy. So the Trojan War, everything, the woman that was actually around, we're seeing her perspective of this, which is why I'm so intrigued, because I've seen the Battle of Troy from other people's perspectives that authors have done, but nothing from Helen herself. So this would be really, really interesting to actually have a look and see what this author depicted in her reimagining of all of this. So yeah, as much as I am terrified of this, I am also really excited at the same time. I'm not even going to say that this is going to be the last prompt, because it's not going to be. It's not going to happen, is it? Let's just go with this one. YA fantasy, which I can't even think of any off the top of my head, so let's hope that doesn't come up. Roll number 6. Orange. Again. And that's a dark cover. Another one. Ooh, a nice one. Under 250 pages. The second reroll. Pink. Treat your shelf. The last prompt being chosen, foil on the cover, and time for the last roll. Green. Under 500 pages. Of course, we got all the rerolls in that last one, but never mind. The first prompt was dark cover, and for this one I've gone with another manga to help myself out, and that's Black Torch Volume 1. This is another one that I bought last year when I was going through a phase of wanting to read loads of manga. Still haven't read it, so we're going to give it a try. I don't know what this is about at all. I just know that there was a cat on his shoulder, and so I wanted to read it. That was it. That's all I've got for you. I'm hoping that I like it, but I also know that I'm quite fussy with my manga now, so that's number 1. Then the second prompt was Treat Your Shelf, which I will buy a book for this, but I genuinely don't know what one that's going to be, so I think for now I don't know, so I'm going to leave this blank, and if it turns out that I have no idea what I'm reading, or I feel like picking up something else that I've recently purchased, then I'll use that to fulfill it. But I mean, I have loads of books that I am interested in getting, so I probably will pick up something new, but Lord knows what. And then the final prompt for this month was a nice one, and that's to read a book under 500 pages, and for this one I have gone with The Valley of Fear by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is one of the last books I actually need to read for my Sherlock Holmes reading them in order readathon thing that I assigned myself. I'm really excited. I've got the last few short stories to read, which I will be finishing up in June, and then moving on to this one in July. It will be kind of sad to have it come to an end. I also feel like this one I should have read earlier, but I was following a reading list that I found online. But this one is talking about Moriarty, which I thought we had kind of vanquished in one of the books. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but either way, this is one of the ones I need to read. So to recap, we have 9 books to get through. We have the nice short Valley of Fear by Arthur Conan Doyle, a manga which is Black Torch Volume 1, then the chunky beast of Helen of Troy. I am excited because it is like mythology retelling, and I do love all of that. And then we have Tokyo Ghoul Volume 6, because I need to finally finish this series. Water in the Soul, a poetry collection, very unusual for me, but I have high hopes. Historical fiction, 6 Tudor Queens, I'm unsure about this one. Then of course Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I do love having a classic on here, and this means that I would have finished all of the Jane Austen books, so you will be seeing a ranking video probably coming out in August time once I finish this. Then we have the book that you need to choose from, which is either Bunny or Cassandra, so please don't forget to put that in the comments below. And then finally a book that I can buy myself. So I mean, this was chunky. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I mean, the books that are on it are good. As I said, apart from the 6 Tudor Queens, all the others I am really feeling, and I do think it is doable when you look at it like this, but also I am a bit terrified of it. So wish me luck. But there we are, 9 books for this month. Again, don't forget to let me know which book you want me to read between Bunny and Cassandra in the comments below. If you've made it this far, I really think a book stack emoji is the one to go for, because this book stack is huge and I'm gonna need some good luck to get through this, in all honesty. But thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, then don't forget to give it that thumbs up, subscribe, comment to let me know that you're here. Social media links will be linked below, and I will of course Catch you in the next one.